You muted.
Oh, unmute me. Okay, cool. Thank you for showing up on our first episode of Unbreakable, Unapologetic, and Unstoppable with Bonita Payton and my special guest, Dave Tolliver. What's up, Dave?
What's up, Mama? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm trying to get like you, get my radio voice on because, I know you getting ready to go back on the air.
Well, we all good. Yeah, I've been, I kind of never stopped being on the radio. It just was kind of, off the radar. But I have a show now called Party and Bull Ish. That's on about 20 something stations. FM, AM, digital. I really want to go all FM. I want to be total like paid syndication. You know what I mean? Like that,
Yeah.
like they say,
Okay.
like that.
Like that, kind of like Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley and them, like
Yeah.
all over the place.
Better than them though, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, better is always better.
Yeah, bigger
That's
and
what
better.
bigger is better.
I said
Maybe.
bigger and better.
Oh, okay. We can do that.
Yeah.
So we gonna pop this show off first
It's popping.
with a dedication, to our girl Angie Stone. For me, that was special. I kept Angie on repeat most of the time. You know, I mean, it was so many songs of hers that stayed on repeat all the time with me. So I was kind of hurt. Like I had watched her live. I had heard her conversations about what was going on, and it was just so unexpected for me. I woke up and was just like, what? Like, so, she'll still always be in high rotation with me, you know, and she gonna live in my memory and in my showcase all the time, and I saw Instagram where you had posted some pictures that you had with Angie,
Mm-hmm.
so, it's a sad day.
She was all around. She was just like an all around nice person. Period. And the thing I love about her is that she was just blatantly honest. If she couldn't do something, she couldn't do it. If she didn't want to do it, she wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? And I love her. She was very nice people. We were supposed to do this show called Remix together that Gerald Levert's brother Eddie Levert was putting together, but I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. We shot the pilot and all the trial episodes. It's supposed to happen, but
Wow.
when posed to.
Yeah. Well, you know how that is. But it's like you just sit back and you just, think about all of the great voices that we lost. Like, we even lost the other half of Men at Large.
So let me clarify that.
Okay.
We lost one. The original member Jason is still alive, but his replacement Gemini for 24 and a half years. Yeah, we lost him to COVID in 21.
Okay.
So that was my man, young Edgar Gemini Porter. He was definitely a friend of all friends, and man, he was just kind of everything to me. You know what I mean? He's like a big brother I never had. Blah blah blah, stuff like that.
Yeah. And and it's like a lot of people don't understand the So Alone song. It's been used for so many different reasons, but that song was actually a dedication to your parents, right?
Yeah, Yeah, it definitely was. If you don't listen to the song and can't figure out what it's about, then you just dumb as hell. I just well, no, I can't say that because I mean, in none of our like in the videos, I think the record company was like, "Don't nobody want to see them with no girls. That ain't believable." But little did they
Right.
know that the ladies was about to be overwhelmingly enthralled with heavy set men, and it was nothing but all the girls we used to talk to were talking to heavy men now, and chicks was like, "I'm marrying a heavy dude," this, that, and the third, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So I mean,
Well, I mean, like when I first went to college, I ain't gonna even lie,
I went to
my when I went to college, my first boyfriend was 6'5", 270, and my daughter's father was 6'9" and weighed 400 pounds,
damn.
you know.
You like
So,
that? You like that pressure?
so in the beginning, I was the big guy girl, but now, I'm like the skinny guy girl.
I had to believe it to see it. Once the fat is on you, ain't no going back.
Like, I used to like the snuggly teddy bear type guys,
Hmm.
you know, when I was younger, but, it's all cool. So you also, I got this play coming. 5 reasons why he won't marry you. So how did this play come about?
Willie and Tawanda Jones, they basically handpicked me for the part, and we've been doing it for a while now. The pandemic, of course, hurt everybody, but it's a great cast from the bottom to the top. We got I can't even think of who's in it. No, it's me. It's me and with the only national name. Mike Bend is in it. A bunch of other people in the play, man. I can't really think of them.
Yeah,
Chanel
okay.
B. It's a bunch of cats. Like I don't even know their names. Real talk.
Oh, okay. So also,
They,
besides the play,
hmm
so I mean, it's kind of hard to get off the play topic,
Yeah,
like,
the play was.
because, a lot of ladies are in situations, and because me and one of my homies was talking about it the other day, because they were out at a bar and it was full of single women,
Uh-huh.
and they were all complaining that they couldn't find husbands.
Damn.
So I mean, you doing this play, can you give the ladies some insights of why these men are not marrying you?
They punks. No, I think you know, for the newer generation, I just think that they're not programmed or wired like that. That's something that they didn't see a lot of, in their home. Their mom was always out, younger mothers, different stuff like that. And I don't fault her, because she has to have her social life, but it's a whole it's a whole conglomerate of things, man. It could be the grandfather not responding the right way or saying the wrong things, and it could come back, you know what I mean? Like that.
Because like I'll be 58 this year.
Damn.
So yes. And so, brothers my age, they done been married, they've been divorced.
Right.
They got a couple of baby mamas, bills hitting them really hard because they got them other responsibilities. And when they get out, they're like, look, I'm not trying to do that again. When I got divorced, I lost this. She took half. I'm not trying to do that. We could kick it, but I'm just not trying to say I do again. So I mean that's like really crazy, and then you got like females like me, like I was married for 15 years, and I walked away from the marriage,
Why?
because I married somebody that I wasn't in love with. And I thought as much as he loved me, that I would eventually fall in love with him the way he loved me.
Hell
And
no.
I really felt like it was unfair for me to stay because I felt like he deserved somebody in his life to love him the way he loved me. And he does have that now.
Maybe I deserve.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Amy loves him to death and they're great together, and he deserved that, so, some people got to understand when it's time to move out the way and let the other person go be happy. But, most of the time people just be like, oh, heck no, I'm going to stay here and make them miserable as I am,
Yeah, when
you
in
know.
fact, you just realizing that you just enhancing your situation on the minus side.
Yeah, because you're sitting there getting on this person's nerve. The love that they had is going to turn into hate, and they're not going to want to be there,
Truth, righteous.
you know. So, I mean, it's a lot. A lot of these females not doing soul searching either. It's like they're not even trying to get to know who they are. So if they don't know who they are, how they gonna show somebody else, who they are if they don't even know who they are? And that's the crazy thing, you know. So you got a show coming up too, don't you? With the Laverne experience?
Let's see. So I do a lot of solo shows myself too. So Mother's Day weekend, the 9th or the 10th, I'm in Peoria with Cut Close, Big Bub. And then on the 11th, I am in Chicago with
Okay.
who is it? The guy that imitates R. Kelly or whatever he does. So he'll be singing there with me on that Sunday, that Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. See?
Look at you. So for people who don't know, Dave and I are more than just people in the end that were in the industry. Like we're actually friends. Like we met in 2007, in Las Vegas, in All-Star Weekend, and it was crazy because I had just been in a bad car accident. We had flipped over and totaled out the car, me and DJ Quest, and I'm sitting there with all of this pain medicine,
I
but
should
I
have hit
had an
you.
appointment to meet Mr. Tolliver, and I was determined I was going. And I drugged myself up with all the pain medicine that I could get, and I went.
Mm.
Because, when you make appointments, you got to show up,
Right.
and we just been friends ever since. It's like
Well,
I done moved 1,001 times, but
you and that guy?
just me. I move around by myself.
Yeah, right. That's what they all say.
You know,
See?
I move around by myself. I go make them dollars.
Where them
Mm,
dollars at? Where them
I go
dollars
make
at?
I go
Where
make
them
them
dollars at?
dollars.
Money make me money make me come.
So I mean, it's like it's really cool that you can actually find real friends in the industry
You can.
because you don't have a lot of real friends that you can meet out there. A lot of people are just in it for what they could get out of you or who you can introduce them to, how you can help them. And when you get to the point where you're not helpful to them anymore, they kick you to the curb and they gone.
That's right. They sure do.
You know, and to say that we've been able to, continue our friendship all of these years, and there's no telling we probably related. I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna go on ancestry.com and I'm gonna figure that out, you know, and see what it's like. So also, you know, I did just drop my first book, so now I'm an author along with other titles going on. My new book is out there called She Rises, the
She
Bonita Payton story.
rises.
Yes, and I opened my own publishing company called She Rises Publishing.
That's good stuff. Let me get some
You
money.
know,
Let me
so
get
I
let me get
mean,
100K.
I'm just having fun coming out of corporate America after 31 years in corporate America.
You're still in there.
And it's like
You're still in there.
them, putting me in a box. I get to hop out my box now. Because they would, they would want me to do one skill. I hired you to do that. I was like, but I could do more than that. No, we only want you to do that. Well, now over here doing my own thing, my own consulting company, I can do it all. And that's pretty exciting. I wake up and I'm not stressed out anymore. I'm like,
Well, I
yes.
don't know if that'll work for me, but I could try it.
Boy, not being stressed out,
Yeah.
you can do it.
Yeah, I have to go to another city.
To not be stressed out,
Hell yeah.
you know, you just
I'm
gotta take
telling
and,
you, shouty.
you just gotta, just tell them, look, I ain't got time for you today. You know, like
I told him
it's,
more than that.
like it's not a meeting day. It's a worker day for me today. I talk to you on my meeting days. I mean, I just really had to learn it was more about discipline. Just like I was getting up, giving corporate America 16, 17 hours of my day, I had to give myself 16, 17 hours of my day
Right.
and promote myself,
Right. You gonna
you
teach me how to
know.
do all that stuff, right?
So I learned all of this stuff when I was with Lord Gang Worldwide.
You gonna teach me all this stuff, right?
Of course, I'll teach you how to do
Okay, just
stuff.
making sure. I'm just making
But
sure.
I mean, you just gotta stay still.
You
I don't mind teaching.
hmm
Just like Black Sun poured 18 hours into me every day for me to learn stuff. But like when I came out, it was guerrilla marketing where we was out on the street putting posters up on poles and all kind of crap back in them days. We actually had physical flyers we were passing out. That was the old style marketing back then. I remember my first marketing company was called Just Like That.
just like that, like that.
Just like
DAT, just
that.
like
They
that.
was like, P, how you gonna do that? Just like that. I was like, you know what? That's gonna be the name of my company. So my first marketing promotion company was called Just Like That.
Damn.
Hey, I just
Yeah.
had to keep it real around the things that I like to do.
Yeah. You know, you want something that you want instead of need. You gotta work for it.
Yeah, you really do. And it's funny though how when you go out there and you know what you want,
Yeah.
you got your goals in front of you, okay, this is what I got to do. And it's like people just throw you a curveball.
Right.
Our life just throws you a curveball,
That's horrible.
and you got two options. Either you give up and quit
Or you
and,
fight.
and say, I can't, or you get up and you figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah. Because if you don't, your
Yeah.
parents gonna whoop your ass when you get home.
I look at it like the brick wall theory, right?
Uh huh.
So you can sit there and just keep driving and see this big ass brick wall sitting there and just keep driving, or you can decide to go right or left and
hmm
not run into the wall. Well, a lot of people got that. I'm just gonna run into the wall because I think if I keep driving, the wall gonna move out the way. I'm like, no, you know, and that's why they fail. I think a lot of people though fail because they have this definition of what success is, and they think the definition for success is the same for everybody, and it's not. For some people, success is I'm a millionaire and I live in a $2.5 million, nice home. And I
And
got like 5 cars in the driveway.
yeah, and success is could be your mind, your state of mind, what you believe it to be. It doesn't have to be always riches and financial gains. You could be the poorest man on the planet and feel like you're rich, and people have to just to have to respect you. You know what I mean? They can prepare like you're rich. They can pretend. You know what I'm saying? To look like you're rich and you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there, they call fake it till you make it.
Man,
But I mean, you can have success waking up every day, you set a goal and you achieve that goal. That's success. Your goal could be like, I'm going to walk around the block twice today, and you got it done. You were successful. You know, maybe you can't run that 10K like somebody else, and because you didn't do a 10K, don't mean you failed and was unsuccessful. You know, like you with music. Some people might say success is hitting the top of the chart with every song. Other people can say, hey, success is I went into the studio, I made the song, it got released, you know, it's on the radio. That's success.
I'm tripping at how you say, well, we published it, you went already, you know.
Yeah, it just depends on what people really call, success is within that person, is how I would definitely say it.
Right. Success is perception, just like everything else. You could be the poorest man on the planet, but feel like you're rich because you could have one more friend than that guy has. You think you're filled with riches, different stuff like that. So
It's like right now, I think
uh,
so many people are, just faking happiness.
hell yeah.
Every time you see them, it's like they have that deep fake laugh, like it's coming from the belly. Like, is that laugh really real? Is
Yeah.
it,
Man, you could
are
tell
you
when it's
really
real when it's fake.
sad and pretending to be happy?
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to reinvention, like you went through a lot of reinvention,
Uh-huh.
so kind of talk us through your reinvention.
Um my man, excuse me. When you said revenge, I guess I totally redid my body. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do surgical and stuff like that, but I lost almost 200 pounds. I just started going more adamant about my radio show that I do, and I know that's a paid thing there, so I need to get more serious with that. The play is May 31st, Mother's Day weekend. Let's talk about that. I'll be in
Okay.
I'll be in Chicago and in Peoria, Illinois. Nah, 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 nah.
Okay. You out there doing your thing, doing the sexy boy thing on stage, you know.
I don't know. It probably it might. I don't know. I had to look at the script again because I did the play before. I just forgot it all. It was '05.
It's like when you guys go out on the road. What is it, puppy? Just chill, puppy, okay? You're gonna be all right. When you guys go out on the road, with the Laverne experience,
Uh huh.
you know, are are you guys doing all new music? Or are you just bringing back all the old?
We're doing
old
everybody's music. Doing the Vert Minute, Large, and Rude Boys while we on stage. It's dope.
oh, okay, so it's like a review.
Yeah, I guess if you want to call it that, it is like that.
But I mean, you guys all had hits. Like, I mean, hit after
Smash.
hit after
Yeah.
hit. You know, like I believe that's what you call classic
Mm-hmm.
because it's still music we listen to today.
Yeah.
Like a lot of this new stuff that come out
It
after
ain't gonna
it
be
come
around.
out, you
It ain't
know,
gonna be around. So
pe-
gone. It's just washed away.
yeah, nobody gonna be listening to this. A lot of this music that's out today, 20
Right.
years from now, nobody gonna be listening to that music.
Right. They're gonna be like, Soldier, who?
Like what?
Man, we off that. We moved from that already. We have something else.
It's like you just can't. I'd rather listen to oldies any day
I wouldn't.
than the new stuff.
I wouldn't. I mean, I would pick and choose. I would pick and choose what I want, But some of the new stuff is good though. You gotta give them their props. They put together
Well,
some songs together well.
I've seen a few that my daughter helped me to that I like listening to, but a lot of it, it's not like it used. And I won't say back in the day the music wasn't sexual because it was. Hell, look, Sexual Healing, Marvin
Right.
Gaye.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
you listen to Rick James, Give It To Me Baby,
Yeah. Super freak.
Super Freak.
Making
But
love
it's
between
just
the sheets.
different from that music than today's music. For some reason, it's just different. It's just
That's
not
right.
the
Because
same.
because they just get straight to it. Like at least we left something for the offering for the mind to think about. You know what I mean? We didn't just say, man, I want to dive in that right now. I'm going to push it back, tear the back. They'll say anything. Back then we used to be like, I want to, talk about the birds and the bees, sugar, you and me getting it on. I mean, we want to get it on. That was it, getting it on. Making love. We didn't bring our girlfriends. And people probably did it, but our girlfriend didn't have a girlfriend, or at least not in public back then. You know what I mean? So they're not. It's not really a lot of. It's some good songs. There's not really a lot of great content or stuff that stick to your ribs. You know what I mean?
No, because I mean, I just don't have anything new that I can say I listen to on repeat.
Right.
And like,
Well, I could
you
say
know,
that because I like hip hop, so I listen to some of the stuff and I listen to it all. I really like Coco Jones. I love her. I like
okay,
Ella May. I like Kevin Ross. I like, but these are the ones that you hear all the time that they play on the radio. Kevin Ross and Lucky
right.
Day and Giveon and
Now, I came into LMA when she came out with when she came out with Naked.
she got some records. She ain't the greatest,
When,
but she got some records.
that was the song that I played wholeheartedly on repeat because it was one of them that I said, okay, that's the way I want somebody to love me.
Right.
If I wake up with my hair all over my head and
That Dave
I
Tolliver
woke up
kind
on
of
the
love.
wrong side of the bed, I was
Yeah.
snoring last night,
Laying in that
you know,
hard spot on the sheet.
I want them to love me that way. That's the way I want to be loved, like that.
Yeah.
I don't always want to have to get up and put on makeup and my hair gotta be combed and I gotta have
Why
on
would you do
clothes
that
that's not
anyway?
wrinkled.
Why would you do that anyway? By that time, he didn't already seen you like that anyway. If you got to get up and do that for a man every day, it ain't worth it. He's supposed to love you through and through, top to bottom, in and out, just natural like you are right now. That's how he's supposed to love you. You know what I'm saying? I know it's quite different for men because society allows them to be super obese or super bumpy or super stuff, and it's okay, and they give them a pass. But I think it's messed up the way they do women like that. That's why my daughter is tall and she's thick, but she has a very nice shape, and I kind of like I know she's tough and all, but I don't want her to go the obesity route like I did. You know what I mean? Like it's tough.
Right.
My mom was like that. My sister was like that. My nieces were like that. One of them, she passed away last year. Another one is like that. And it's just something that runs in my family. And then most of us lose weight when we get older. Like I did. I lost weight at 53, 54. You know what I mean? But better late than
Right.
never. I gave myself a chance. But obesity is a serious thing. And after my niece, had passed away, after my sister passed away in 19, her mother, I was gonna do a foundation called Eat Your Heart Out that educated people on childhood obesity, the numbers, what I wasn't gonna like start no big fund and stuff, but it's just like if it was a family that had heavy set kids, it's hard to
It's
close big
hard
boys. It's hard to close
once
big boys and it's expensive.
it's and the thing is, I don't think a lot of parents really even put two and two together.
Mm-mm.
I know like with my kids, like my mom used to get mad because she was like I wasn't giving them candy and I wasn't giving them sweets.
You
And
saved them.
every time I sent my kids to Louisiana to my mom over the summer,
You had
they
to
came
reprogram.
home 40 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
I spent the whole school year trying to get the 40 pounds off of them that she had put on them
Mhm.
because she was like, it's okay for them to have cakes and candy and drink soda all
None of
day.
that. Hell no.
And I was like, no, Ma, it's not fine for them to do that.
Yeah,
You know,
I got a friend who used to let her kids just drink soda all day and just eat junk. They all heavy, big, what I mean, not super big, but too heavy.
yeah,
So,
and then it was like my daughter, most of high school, she was heavy. Like I would say 2017, she put it in her head. Like at that time, she was about as heavy as her brother, like weighing close to 350.
oh God,
And
for a
and
girl that
she
looked like
woke
400 plus.
she woke up one day and she started going to therapy, and dealing with the emotional side of what was going on with her. Started working out and she dropped it. She might be 200 pounds now, maybe.
Nice, nice. Her dad, she's tall. Right?
Yeah, she's tall. She's like
Yeah,
5'8".
because her daddy was an old NBA meat having tall ass man.
you know, and it's like my son, he's a football coach. He played football since he was like 6 years old.
Mhm.
So he's the teddy bear, but he gets up and he go works out every day. He does the weightlifting team and the football team. He's coaching both. And so he goes and he works out every day. And they both know how to eat right,
Yeah,
you know. But it's like they're not even teaching these kids what eating right is like.
they don't want to.
These days it's like, okay, let's stop by McDonald's, let's stop by Burger King, let's get you these fries,
I don't even
let's
touch
get you
that.
this
None of it.
soda.
None of it. I don't touch none of it.
You know, they don't say, well, let's get you this salad. You need to have enough fats. You don't need to be eating all these carbs. They don't say any of that. You
Yeah,
know, and obesity has become a big thing.
yeah.
And at one time it was all about the surgery.
Hmm.
Everybody was getting gastro bypass surgery, and a lot of people were having bad reactions to that surgery.
Dying too.
And dying. A
Yeah,
lot of them are still having issues behind that surgery, you
yeah.
know. But now, they got the shots that everybody taking and everybody's, on Ozempic and like I'm on
Montaro.
Manjaro, but I'm on Manjaro because I don't have a pancreas.
Really?
I have pancreatitis and they removed my pancreas. And so for them to try to control my blood sugar,
They had to give
you
you that.
know, yeah, so
Manjaro's the shit.
I
Manjaro's the shit. I lost
it is.
160 plus pounds on that motherfucker. Manjaro's
Yeah.
the shit. It is. I
Yeah,
lost 160 pounds on that shit. I did.
yeah, it's like I had to fight for it, but I was willing to go out
I
there and
didn't.
fight for it.
I was one of the first people to get on that shit, and because I had the gastric too, and I gained weight back, and I was gonna get it done over, and I was like, I'm not paying these niggas $5,000-6,000 to redo this surgery, and they was like, well, they got the shot, and I was like, because they was like, you too heavy for our tables, but it's gonna cost you an extra 5,000 to go to the hospital. I was like, nah. They said, well, we got the shot. I was like, what is it? They said, da, da, da. And what's crazy is my homegirl had hit me to it because she sent me to the clinic, and man, as soon as I started taking it was like
Yeah, like
Professor
when I
Clump
first
taking that juice.
when I first got on it, and they, she gave me samples first, and then my health insurance was trying to say, no, did you try the other ones first, before you put her on that? And like I told her, I said, look, I say either you do what I need to be done and you get it for me, or I'm gonna go find somebody that's gonna put it good, that's gonna give it to me. I was like, I'd rather stay with you. I'd rather let you monitor me. You handle my diabetes, you handle my thyroid, and I want to stay under your care. I say, so either you fight for me the way I'm fighting for me, or I'm gonna go find somebody that will. And I started writing letters to the insurance company. She wrote a letter to the insurance company, and they finally covered it. Because I was like, no, you're just not going to tell me. You don't know anything about me and my health. How are you finna sit up there as an insurance company and tell me to go take something else?
Yeah,
So, I mean, Manjaro been doing his thing. The thing that I hated, though, is when a lot of people started getting on it, it made it hard being a diabetic for us to get it. And
yeah.
we were going weeks without our medicine because they were running out.
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know. But I mean, it helped a lot of people, because what people didn't understand is it's just not this shot you take and you lose weight. It actually changed how your brain thinks.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't sit there and think about food all day.
Right.
Off of it, you be like, oh, what I mean for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oh, what I'm gonna eat tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's like now you walk down the snack aisle and it don't even phase you.
Yeah.
You don't even think about it. It's not even something that's important. And
For
it
sure.
also helps with insulin resistant. And a lot of people don't even understand what insulin resistant is, you know. So it's helping people and it's a good thing and it's bringing down the money. Like it's all good, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. But guys, we're not gonna hold you up all night. Um, Thank you, Dave, for hanging out with me tonight on this
You mean to
podcast.
tell me that's all we talking about?
Well, I mean, come on, we can talk about more, but you telling me you hungry,
No, that
you
was at
tired.
7 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock now. Shit, we good.
Now you not hungry, you not sleepy.
I am
We can
hungry and I'm sleepy, but I always when I make a commitment, I make a commitment. So I'm
okay.
here. I'm up in your guts right now. Let's go. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
okay, okay, okay.
Deep
So
in them
quick.
motherfuckers too.
So Dave, really,
Yeah.
on a serious tip, tell me, you know, if there was anything that you could do, any place you could go, and it was just like that, what would it be?
Um, it probably would be some Latin country like Spain or Ecuador or just somewhere where it was nice and rich and never come back. And I would just sing over there forever and just be with two or three of the most beautiful Latin women I've ever seen in my life. I've snapped my fingers right now. Bye.
Just like that? Well,
Bye.
I
Like
didn't
that.
even know I didn't even really know about those countries until I started working with this travel agent, and she does luxury travel
Mm-hmm.
and she does international travel. And
Mm-hmm.
I started looking at these pictures and I was like, whoa, this
Mm-hmm.
what these other countries look like.
Yeah.
I'm missing out.
It's
I
always
was
gonna be
like,
something you gonna feel like you're missing out, but it's always gonna be something like once I get there, I'll probably be like, damn, I want to go back to America. They don't got this here, they don't have this here, they don't have this here. Man, I gotta go home. I get somebody to send it. But I know if I had nice 2, 3 Latin nice women that just only catered to me, oh God, I'd never go back. I'd be eating beans and rice every day. Oh, it'd be
you
a wrap.
know, when
Taking my
Stella went to
Mounjaro shot.
Jamaica, when Stella went and she got her groove back, everybody in America wanted to go hang out in Jamaica and get their groove back.
That's because of what was
That's one
hanging out
trip.
over there.
That's one trip I ain't never made either. But I did go to the British Virgin Islands.
I used to live in the United States Virgin Islands. I used to live in USVI. Yeah.
Yeah, when I
You went
went
to
to the
Tortola?
British Virgin, oh my God, I went over there with my DJs.
The beach?
And oh God, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I got to eat with the locals.
hmm
That's the one thing I have learned. When you go to places like that, you got to learn where the locals go.
Yeah, you got to do that because otherwise the
Because if you eat where the tourists eat, you getting junk.
garbage. Garbage. Go where the
You know,
locals go. 'Cause it's handmade. It ain't it's not what is it, processed. It ain't, it's a lot of times it's family run or whatever, and or it's been there for forever, man. Hell yeah. Well, anytime I go to any of those countries, like when we cruise and different stuff like that, I'm catching the cab or whatever, and I'm going to, like, I mean, we went to Puerto Rico, and that was like first, second, or third time we've been there. I knew exactly where to go when I got off the boat. I went and got me some authentic arroz amarillo con candules. Yeah, man. Ooh, man.
like even when we went over to Mexico, my best friend, he went a week before we went on the cruise and he checked out like all the local spots to eat. Like he sent me all of the menus so I could see what was on them.
hmm
And I was like, try this one, try that one. And he went to all the places. So when the boat docked and we got there, we knew where all the local places were that I wanted to go to,
Yeah.
at that point. Because he had went and checked out everything a week before we left on the cruise.
I know
So
he
that
had
was pretty
gas.
cool.
He probably had gas out this world. I know he did. Because the food is cleaner. I guarantee it's cleaner than what we eat here.
Yeah, it is. I think we eat more Mexican junk food than real authentic Mexican food here.
hmm Yeah.
That's like Chinese food. We
I love
eat we
Chinese food.
we eat the junk food.
I
Chinese
love
people
Chinese
say
food.
they don't eat that crap,
I love Chinese food.
you
Five
know.
ninety nine.
I remember when I moved to New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
that was the craziest move ever. I moved from LA to Jersey in February.
That
All
was
I
smart.
had was clothes from LA. I get there, it's like, it was raining, but it wasn't snowing. So I get to the bed and breakfast, and I'm like, okay, I call my mom, and she goes, so how you like the snow? And I'm like, Mom, it's not snowing here. I walk out the room and outside, and it's just white everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I I learned that there was a Chinese place down the street and I was ordering Chinese food every day. It was so bad that these people knew my voice and my order every time I ordered.
Hey, Bonita, you want same thing as last time. Bonita.
That was a everyday thing. I was eating Chinese food.
Mm,
Mm-mm, just deliver. I'm not going out there.
mm.
I'm just not. But then I got being in New York, it was the Puerto Rican food that I started eating.
Yes.
I was like, you know, so just trying different stuff. Like it's still a lot of different foods that I don't eat now, I like Jamaican food.
Mm.
You know, I'm not really into Thai yet,
Yeah, me neither.
so that's just a whole different thing. But a lot of people are, we got a Thai restaurant here,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think I'm doing that.
No,
Like, not at all.
no.
But
Thai. You could
soul
tie me.
food
You could
though,
tie me up, but no Thai food.
no Thai food. Now soul food, that's one of the things you got to do at least once a month. You know,
Yeah, I
I
prefer to
can't
do it
do.
at home because people can't cook anymore like that. They don't cook like that no more. Everything tastes different. So
They don't put no seasoning in it.
I don't even play myself to like when we on the road and stuff. I don't even play myself to go and be excited about soul food. Last time I went somewhere, they was like, "Yeah, man, it be packed out the door on Sundays, but I'm gonna, you did that. I'm gonna get food and I'll take you to the airport." Man, they brought me that shit back. I was like, "Dude, what is this?"
Man, it was this place in Detroit. Like my aunt she was at the hospital. She was at rehab.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually this gas station that
Oh yeah.
had soul food in it. In
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, oh my God, it was like to die for. I
Yeah.
was door dashing soul food left and right. I
Putin
was like, oh my God.
sitting up in your hotel room farting,
Like, woo!
tearing that
They
motherfucker
had
up,
the ribs, they had the oxtails and rice and gravy,
and you was just in there,
you know.
brr, 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 killing
I mean, when you don't, because I live by myself, so I don't cook that heavy food here by myself.
and you
I
just
throw
free to.
something on, I put something on a new wave grill, you know, eat it with a salad, and I'm good to go. Okay. You know, like my friend Taffany, like every day she eating like a 4-course meal. And I'm like, girl, what are you doing?
Blowing up.
She's like, I gotta eat. I gotta eat,
She blow
and I
up
don't eat, but
Waiting.
she's like, I only eat a little of everything that I eat, so I can have it all.
Hmm.
I was like, girl, I can't eat like that. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah,
like
nah, nah.
that's one of those things when you go visit family. But even for Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving, you give me some cornbread dressing
Oh God.
and you give me some ham, and I don't have to have nothing else. You can
Yeah.
have the whole rest of the meal. Just give me cornbread dressing.
Nah, yeah. I'll take that. Yeah, I get a little tired of that too. I do. I
The
get tired of
dressing.
that. Yeah, nah, of just traditional holiday food. I get tired of it.
So normally, like if we do that for Thanksgiving, I'll do like gumbo for Christmas.
Oh man.
Because I'm like, okay, we had all of that for Thanksgiving. Let's do something different for Christmas.
Man. If I be in Ohio and you cook some gumbo, I'm coming wherever you at.
Man, just come on. I got gumbo in my freezer now because I do a big pot when I do it, and then I freeze it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I have one of those days, like I just got that taste, go
Mm-hmm.
pull it out the freezer.
Yeah.
I do that with my collard greens too,
Mm.
and just
Yeah.
put them in the freezer, cook enough so I can put them in the freezer. So when I want them, I just go get them out of the freezer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but it's like right now, Dave, like this point in time in
Mm-hmm.
life, a lot of things are going on in America that don't even look like America right now.
Right.
And, you know, we can either stress about it or do something about it
Right.
or figure out. But the crazy thing is, right now, we've gone through so much as Blacks, and we kind of know how to take the right and the left. You know, we're kind of used to it
Right.
because of the way that we had to grow up and the way we have to live now.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of the things that's happening aren't hitting us as hard as it's hitting other people.
Right. I
You know,
um I just think that I'm really not even really paying attention to I pay attention to it, but I'm not really paying attention to it because I can't really just take the stress levels of the shit. It's just like ever since George Floyd died. Before that, for me, my life was upside down with a bunch of different deaths, and they just kept happening. So it was like I got to turn the news. I either got to deal with my life or I got to deal with the news. So I turned the news off, and I just think that all the things that he's doing, yeah, it might start, but it's not going to finish. I think with every presidency has done something good, and they've done some stupid shit too at the same time. And with same thing will be with him, that he's done some good things already, and he's done a bunch of bad stuff, but it just seemed like we're only going to highlight the negativity. You know what I'm saying? We only highlight the bad things. It seems like they want to keep the American public scared. They want to keep them imprisoned mentally so that they can you know have them run the thing like the rats in the little thing. They want to keep us
on
separated. They
that
want to keep
bill.
us divided. If we all just broke away from that mess and just stood together, things would change. But it's not even possible. You got
But
hate. Go ahead.
like I was talking to a lady the other day, and and we were talking, and she said, I remember back in the day, politics wasn't even something that people talked about.
Right.
You never knew who was voting for who
Right.
because that was just a topic that people didn't talk about.
Right.
And now you got whole families being divided because of politics. People not talking to people no more in their family,
Yeah.
and I just wish that, and I know that it'll never go back to the way that it was.
No, I won't.
It's never gonna go back,
Right.
but maybe as things start happening, maybe we can get some affirmative action back or
Hmm.
something. Because like I'm looking at my life, right? And coming through IT and corporate America for 31 years, not most of the time, I was the only black female on any team.
Right.
Because hiring me, they got a female and they got a black. So everybody else could be white,
Right.
you know. But now, since that's not a thing anymore, they're like, oh, well, we don't need women and we don't need black people. We don't have to hire either
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah. True.
And
Like
so
that
that's
one.
the reason why a lot of people are out of work right now, like especially in the IT field.
Yeah.
IT is all being outsourced to India.
Yep.
And
Hello,
so
my friend.
most
May I take your order, please?
because like I worked for an Indian company for 7.5 years, and we were in every major company in America. And
Mm.
we went in and we took over the IT departments, and those people were out of jobs, and they brought a small US team in, and after about a year, they got rid of us and shipped everything over to India.
Mm.
So, it's like it's unemployment right now is crazy.
Yeah.
Because when I first left corporate America, I was like, I want to go back. Every job I was clicking on, 3,000 people had applied for that job.
Hmm.
What HR person going through 3,000 resumes?
First
None.
one. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, got you. You
Okay,
qualify for me.
job closed.
Yeah.
Job closed. We
Ain't
went through
worried
the
about
first
that.
5 applications.
Right.
So like right now, the thing is being your own boss. That side hustle, being an entrepreneur, figuring out what you like to do and figuring out how to go make your money. The gig economy right now is where it's all at. Freelancing and gig economy. And controlling your own life,
Yeah. 1,000.
you know. So do you think you would ever go back to a major label?
If they wanted me, maybe. It's nice to have all the comforts of home, so to speak. You know what I mean? Making it comparable to that. It's nice to have the comforts of home as opposed to having to do everything your god doggone self all the time. I get exhausted with that, and you lose traction like that because you get discouraged. You don't have the budget to put down to wait or to be the navigator of the situation. You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta take what you can get, or if you get in a situation and you not able to buy in with it, it's like they telling you what to do, how to do it, whatever. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. You know, it have to be the terms will have to be you know uh conducive for me. You know what I mean?
So
They gonna get their money regardless.
what lessons did you learn that you would do differently this time?
Probably patience and learning more about the business on my own, and not listening to others that you think are accredited or credible. I'm sorry, credible for to the situation. You know what I mean? Be patient and just wait the course. Because only God knows when is your time. To be whatever. You know what I mean? So just probably being a little more patient with what we had going on and what was happening, and things might be different. You might find more stuff on me in the internet, like you said.
Yeah, like that's what we really need to do out there.
Yeah,
Like I wanna see some like new videos of you out there, like from like right
nude.
now.
Right.
Like I think the closest new video I found was you and where you had on this red and this dude was rapping. And I think that was like 4 years ago.
Red, and the dude was rapping.
Yeah, it was a rapper and like y'all were on this truck. Like I saw it on YouTube. I still like listening to your own stuff,
You got to send me
like
that.
home.
We was
Yeah,
on.
like I like
Oh, you
listening
talking
to
about time keeps on slipping? That one.
yes,
It was in the red hound the red.
yes.
Yeah.
Like I like that video you had out there home,
Yeah, that was nice. I should
you
have did one
know.
for Baby I'm Ready. I get lazy, and or the budget ain't there to do it the way I want to do it, and I just be like, you know, just
Well,
have sometimes.
right now, it's not like it was before because a lot of things you can do with AI,
Hmm.
and you don't have to have that big budget like you used to have, and the quality is still there.
Yeah,
So it's just like just changing with the times and doing it the new way.
yeah. Look at old
That's all that
BP.
is.
Look at old BP. Thinks she dropping gems.
Oh, of course it is. Like I change with the time, but that's because I got an IT background too. And it's either you change or you get left behind, and you're not valuable, and you can't bill out like that, like the younger people can because they know all the new stuff.
Yeah,
So you just gotta you stay with the new stuff and keep it moving, keep it pushing.
yeah, definitely.
You know, so Dave, I think my dog is gonna truly attack me after a while because I really think that she needs to go out. And I've
Yeah,
been saying, okay, puppy.
that's what's up. That's what we've been on
But
here for an hour.
it's been great. And guys, thank you for hanging out with us with Unbreakable, Unapologetic, and Unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Make sure y'all follow me, man. Follow me at Dave Minute Large, at Dave Minute Large, or Dave Tolliver on Facebook. It's Dave Minute Large everything, and Dave Tolliver on Facebook. See ya.
Man, y'all make sure y'all hang out with my boy. He's been awesome the whole time I've been knowing him. That voice is unreal. You gonna give us a little bit on the way out?
It's unreal. That means it doesn't work. Baby, it's time for me to give you all the love you need. Yeah. Now, baby, I know that you deserve the best. And I can't keep treating you like I treated the rest. You're singing the song, baby. I'm ready to give you all of my love. This is yours, baby. Yeah, that's it. That's good. That's it. That's enough.
Ah,
I don't want
ah,
y'all watering the
you
plants over
know,
there.
you know, I'm gonna find me a husband that can sing to me all the
It ain't
time.
gonna be that good though.
Well, all right, guys. Thank y'all for hanging out with us and catch us next time.
Later.
Peace.
See ya. All right, mama. It's good seeing you and talking to you. Blow me up.
Definitely. I will. I will.